Hey everyone, Ethan with Beware Beekeeping. So if you've been following along the problems we've been having with our control hive, we ended up not having a queen for a couple of weeks. So last week what we did was we pulled a frame out of our experimental hive that had larvae and eggs on it and put it over here. Just kind of doing the math and the numbers, we decided to go ahead and get a queen. So today we're gonna put our new queen in here. We're also gonna check on that frame just to see if they've started building up other queen cells in that frame. So yeah, let's get to it and we'll show you guys how to do this. So for those of you who haven't seen a queen in one of these cages before, you can see the queen's in there with a couple of attendant bees. She's marked with blue, so if you see her running around, that's what you see. This case actually has two ends to it. One end will just directly release her, so that would be this end. If you just pulled that out, she would be able to go out immediately. And then this end has a bunch of candy in here. So we're just going to pull this cork out. The bees will then eat from both sides of it, and then the queen will be released over the course of a couple of days. So that's going to be the game plan for today. All right. Hope you're all doing well today. Again, we've been crunching numbers and doing all the critical thinking to get this thing going. So I mentioned before that we did the numbers. So bees will only live about 45 days, and it had already been about 21 since we realized we had, well, since the last time we know the queen laid some brood, which was right before we did an inspection and some mite treatments. So we think she might have died or swarmed shortly after that. The long and short of it was the brood that we hadn't seen for a few weeks, so the bees essentially would die out before the queen could be raised and then start laying again. So that's why we opted to get a new queen. We are feeding at this time of year. We are in a dearth here in Texas, so that's what those jars are, and this box right here is just an empty box. All right, and my high-tech screen, feeding screen here. If you can go ahead and just give us a little bit of smoke there. All right, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're just going to check on that frame that we seeded in here from the other hive. Now, if you give bees a frame of brood and larvae, they'll raise it. They won't, even though it's from a different hive, they'll be fine with it. So the trick would be to see if they realize that they were queenless and if they did anything with that particular frame. So that's what we're going to check here. So this is just our previous drone comb. We're just using it right now as a spacer since these guys were needing a little bit of help. This was the frame we had pulled before, and when you see we got some capped brood already, some kind of senior larvae. Again, these guys don't have a queen or anything, so we were just helping the population a little bit.
So we ported this one from the other hive? Correct. The eggs?
Yep. And yeah, really what I'm seeing here is these ones here that aren't capped, those were all eggs a little over a week ago. So you can see obviously they're raising them up, but we do need to make sure that the bees, I'm kind of glad that we bought a queen because they didn't turn any of those eggs into a queen cell. So that is something important to note. So yeah, with this, you just got a little cork here that you just try to work out. Of course, I trimmed my fingernails today, so that's a little more difficult.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. So yeah, if you see down in there, there's a little bit of sugar candy. I don't think I'm actually going to pull that out. Some people will fill this all the way up to the top pretty much with sugar candy. They actually didn't. So sometimes you might want to take it out a little bit. And nope, they did not. So that's actually good in this case because I didn't want the queen to be too long. So essentially how this works is in this cage, it has a screen on it, obviously. So the bees can kind of pass food through to feed the queen. They'll get her pheromones at the same time. And that's really the goal that we're trying to do here with this sugar is it causes them to take a little bit longer before the queen's actually introduced into the hive. This just reduces the risk of her getting killed when initially introduced. So when bees are when they have a different queen pheromone, they'll be like, hey, you're not the one, you know, you're not the mom, so we're going to get rid of you. And this really just kind of prevents that. The trick is right now is to figure out how to do this.
Slide this over one, put her a little more in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I've got a little bit of wonky comb, actually. I'm probably just going to set her on top of the wonky comb in here and let the bees kind of come to her. I just want to get a good look at this comb just so I see. So yeah, this is a little bit of honey. And like I said, I might just push the box like into the comb here and kind of destroy a little bit of the comb, but it's wonky comb, so I don't really care. So yeah, we might just do that and just make sure that she has a good avenue here.
This bee checking her out. See what she thinks.
All right, yep. So
Playing nice now.
So we're just going to see if this will hold just like that. So that's all we're going to do. I'll show this camera here. Really all I did was I just pressed it into the wax. And they can still get to her from the bottom. So we're going to just let this go for a couple of days. I'm going to push that in there just a little bit more just to make sure it stays really good. Yeah, we're just going to do that for a couple of days. In 2-3 days she should be out and around. And so we'll just check on this frame then. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. A little short and sweet video for you guys. I'll push these back together if you don't mind. Can I get that smoke?
Yeah. I guess just leave a little extra so that they can get to the screen to meet her.
Yep. Well, so there's no comb on this side.
Oh.
So, yep, that's how we're going to do that. This is called working with what you have. Yeah, so if you, as you can see right down in there, if you want to take a little video, they can clearly get to her from this side. She's right about there. Yeah, she has a space in there, so good enough.